you
Yeah.
know.
Stacey, you have a lot of skin in the game when it comes to the heavyweights. You're the heavyweight guy. You train heavyweight champions. There's this kid in England, Moses Itauma. Have you watched him at all? And if so, what's your take on Moses Itauma, the young British heavyweight?
I watched him, and I watched him close. He has hidden power. He has hidden power. He doesn't look like it.
Hmm.
He doesn't look like he has that power because a lot of people looking at, let's say, for instance, Tyson Fury,
Yep.
6'7", 260 pounds, and all of this stuff. Joshua, 6'7", 6'6", and 240 pounds, 45 pounds. And so you're looking at these guys at 6 something and 240 and some of that pound and muscles all popped all up here. So when you look at him, you say, well, he looked thin. He doesn't look like he's powerful, but he has hidden power, like Julian Jackson. Julian Jackson had hidden power, and now they're trying to say pound for pound, he's the hardest hitting fighter ever lived. He has
Right.
hidden power. You look at Roberto Duran, he looks soft. His body looks soft, but he had hidden power. So this kid doesn't, big heavyweight with big muscles and all that, but he has hidden power. He's talented, and he can punch. And I tell you, he's a dangerous young man. He's going to be problems. A lot of times, I like guys like him because they got good speed with the power. So they don't have to carry a whole lot of weight. And they got good speed. So I like guys like him. Angelo Dundee once told me about, I think it was Amir Ahman was slim and slim and
Yeah.
trim fighter, and he could punch. And Angelo told me, he said, I like those slim guys above even Wilder. Deontay Wilder is a good example. I like those slim looking guys above these big old bulky guys, he said, because they got speed and good punching power. Heavyweights, yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, because if a guy's bulky, he gets tired faster. The speed isn't there, and in boxing, we know speed is power. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and like I tell my guys, I said, listen, this ain't about cosmetics. We're not in the modeling business. We're in the fight business. You don't need all of that bulk. You don't need all of that. That's for sure. That don't make you a better fighter. I remember Roberto Duran said about having 6-packs and 8-packs. Roberto Duran wanted to have cushion. He said, we need cushion on it. I don't need all muscles out there like that. Even Guillermo Jones the same way. I've never seen a fighter like Guillermo Jones. Before he fight, he go eat bowls and bowls of spaghetti until his stomach just pop out like this, and then he take it and push it down on himself. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm putting pad in there. But anyway, yeah, so I like that young heavyweight. And he's young.
Yeah, he's
So
young. He's young.
yeah.
They're putting. I mean, I'm interested to see his development because they've been, he's been getting some Mike Tyson comparisons. I don't know what you think about that because you trained Mike Tyson, so you would know better than anybody else. But even I was talking to Rick Laser the other day. Rick Laser was on the channel the other day, and he told me that he feels that at 21 years old, that Moses Itauma might be a more I think he said complete heavyweight than Mike Tyson. So I don't know. I think that's a bit much, but. What do you think about those Mike Tyson comparisons?
As far as punching power go and speed, I'm not going to try to take anything away from a young fighter because a young fighter can punch. But
yeah,
you got to understand, Mike Tyson had a different type of punch. He had a different type of punch. He had different speed. Now, this kid is a good fighter, but as far as being an all-around fighter, complete, put together, he ain't no Mike Tyson at no 20 years old. He's far from being a Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a complete fighter. He was a complete fighter. And a lot of people didn't get a chance to see the total Mike Tyson. They didn't get a chance to see all his skills. Because I asked him once, I saw him make a move in the gym once after being with him 2 years. And I said, Mike, I ain't never seen you do that before. And he stopped and told me, there's a lot of things I can do, Stacey. You haven't seen me do because ain't nobody can make me do them. So I can take a shortcut. Now it's the same thing with Muhammad Ali. Well, Everybody said Muhammad Ali is so great. He did this, he did that. But you got to understand one thing. 3 years of his prime was taken from him. So you don't know what he could have been. So it's the same thing. You really don't know. So, but he couldn't have been, that kid got a long ways to go skill-wise to be a man. Now he can beat these fighters now.
Yeah.
He can beat all these guys out. And which is great for a 21-year-old man. I like watching him. He's the man. When he hits you, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that's what the heavyweight division. People like that. They sitting there when they watch him, they sitting there waiting for something to happen. The same thing with Mike Tyson. They waiting for something to happen. And boom, there it is.
Yeah. So bringing that excitement back to the big boy division, you know, like
back. Yeah.
Yeah. People want to see knockouts, you know.
People want
to see cartoon characters. They want to see knockouts.
That's why the UFC grew so fast, because of the knockouts. Those guys are getting knocked out. And see what has happened now. I'm going to be telling you. I shouldn't be telling people all this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Go.
What has happened is this. This is what has happened. Mm-hmm. Why did we see less knockouts in professional boxing? Why we see less knockouts? It's because the way they're being trained.
Correct.
Okay, they're being trained to throw a lot of punches, to run, to hold, and all this. Back in the day when I was coming up, we was taught to punch straight through a guy. These guys are taught hit and run, but our thing was to punch straight through him. You know, so they're not these guys are not sitting down on their punches and punching. They're trying to slap and take off running to keep from getting hit and all this type of stuff. Now, Boo's got some good power. He sits down on his shots.
Yep.
He got good power. He sits down on his shot. But most of these guys, they ain't getting no knockouts. So now, these guys, a lot of these guys were sitting down on their punches. Then a lot of these guys will be getting stopped. And the boxing with flourish. Oh my God, might be a knockout here. But you go in there and the guys is running and ducking and trying to go to distance and talking about I'm great and all this. Well, people don't want to see all. They go to UFC, they're gonna go over there and see a knockout.
Correct. See dudes get choked out and kicked in the face and things like that.
Yeah, choked out, kicked in the face and all that kind of stuff. But right now, you're that young heavyweight. If he hits you, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna hit the floor. So we got to tune into this boy.
Yeah, I can't wait.